Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here, and I've got another tier list for you guys. So, I wasn't sure if I could do a tier list for the month of October since it's Halloween season, and I wanted to wanted most of my content to be Halloween centric. But then I thought, why not a tier list for Halloween candies? These Halloween candies, these are like one of the stars. They're like one of the co-stars of Halloween, that and the costumes. So we are devoting a tier list to Halloween candies. These some of my favorite and least favorite candies that I had growing up in my Halloween baskets when I was a kid every year, and we got our candies here. We got a whole variety of stuff, and then down here we have our tiers. So for those of you who've watched my tier list videos before, you kind of already know how this works. But for those who are unfamiliar, we got our tiers here. We got Trick or Treat, which is going to be our S tier. Means really, really solid candy, best Halloween candy ever. A tier is like really, really good, not enough to be Trick or Treat tier, but still really good. B is like the middle ground. C is like one or two things that prevent it from being absolutely terrible. And we have our bottom tier, the bottom of the barrel, which is stay in the store. That means don't buy this candy and don't give me this candy around Halloween. But I mean, honestly, now that I'm an adult, I can pretty much buy whatever candy I want, and if I'm at a party, I can just pick and choose what candy to get. But this is more so for like when I used to go trick or treating as a kid, which I haven't been since I was like 7 or 8. But nevertheless, no, they did the trunk or treating, but in elementary school and stuff, and then we had like Halloween parties, but not like door to door. I haven't done that since I've been like 7 or 8. But nevertheless, we got our candies, we got our tiers, so let's get into it. Starting off with Sour Patch Kids, and this one for me is already. Oh, by the way, yeah, these are regular candies, but usually with like the Halloween candies, they're bite-sized versions. So like little packets, they usually have one or two of the candies in there, pretty much like miniature versions of the big candies that we have here. But Sour Patch, for me, Sour Patch, probably because I love Sour Patch, but this one's definitely a trick or treat here. Probably because I really like Sour Patch, and they usually had the good ones, and with the little packets they gave you for like the Halloween bite size, they usually gave you like a decent amount. They gave you like 3 or 4, or sometimes even 5, which is a pretty good amount for like a mini thing of Sour Patch. So this one is gonna be our first trick or treat tier. So Sour Patch Kids, congratulations for being the first trick or treat tier. Almost said Sour Patch tier, but next we are moving on to chocolates. Now this one I think is going to go in B because there's good and bad when it comes to chocolates, I feel like. And another thing to keep in mind, this is all my personal opinion, so if you agree or disagree with these, let me know. But I feel like with chocolates, a lot of them were like hit or miss. Like, of course, they had like Snickers and Milky Way and Twix, as they see on the thing here, which were usually pretty good. But then we had stuff like Mounds and Almond Joy, which and like Three Musketeers, which I didn't like as much. So because of that, you gotta take the good with the bad. So I will meet in the middle and put these in B. So chocolates is going in B tier. Next up is going to be let's see, candy corn. Oh, stay in the store. Or I hate candy corn. For some reason, I used to like it, but it's honestly not good. Like, now I can't stand candy corn. I used to like it for whatever reason, but now I don't like it. A lot of people don't like candy corn, and for understandable reason. Well, actually, no. Candy corn's like, I don't like it, but it's not like absolute garbage. So should I put this in C or should I put this in stay in the store? I think I'll actually put it in C. I'll be generous this time around. I'll be generous to the candy corn. Not from me, but I mean, if you like it, don't let me stop you. But I don't really like candy corn, sadly. Next up is that's candy corn. Warheads. Warheads were usually pretty good, but really, really sour. Especially the lemon, which lemon on its own, like the fruit, is already sour. The the um the candy is naturally going to be sour, but it was like really, really sour. The apple is usually pretty sour as well. Same with the watermelon. The black cherry, I think, is probably the most sour of them all, and the blue raspberry. I don't think the blue raspberry was as bad as the other ones, but in terms of like sourness, but that sour feeling. But I can't really hate it for being sour. That's literally the whole point. Look at the guy on the thing. Even he's like, he's doing like the face when you taste something sour, and that's the exact face you'll make, unless sour stuff doesn't really affect you. But so Warheads, I think I'm gonna put in. I think I'm gonna put in B. I think Warheads is also gonna go in B for me. Next up is Lemonheads. I like Lemonheads for the most part. Or thankfully they're not sour like Warheads, but I feel like I like the other like fruity, chewy Lemonheads more. The crunchy ones I didn't like as much, but I still kind of like Lemonheads for the most part. So I think Lemonheads I will put in. I think I'll put in B as well. So Lemonheads is going in B. Next up is, let's see, Dum Dums. Love Dum Dums. I was like like Dum Dums. They're not like super big like a lollipop that we'll see later on, but they were usually pretty good. And well, actually, I just remembered a candy or two that I forgot to put on this list, but that's okay. I forgot to put Tiger Pops on here, but that's okay. We still got plenty of candies on here. But Dum Dums are usually pretty good. I like how they have such a variety of flavors, all kinds of flavors for Dum Dums. So with Dum Dums, I think, and like the chocolate here, there's some like good, some not so good, but I still really like them. So I think Dum Dums is gonna be our first 8 here. I really, really like them. They are kind of small, but the ones I like taste really good. So so Dum Dums is going in 8 here. Next up is Nerds. Nerds. My sister used to really like Nerds, but Nerds, they're like okay. They're like little pebble type candies, but they do taste really good and really sweet. But not too sweet to where they're like bad, but they taste pretty good for the most part. So I think I'm gonna meet in the middle once again and go for B. So B tier for the Nerds. Oh, yep, this one B tier. Okay. Yeah, I thought I accidentally went down for a second, but no, we're good. Skittles. I love Skittles. Skittles taste really, really good. They're kind of small and you chew through them pretty easily, but getting the little packets of Skittles, and similar to like the Sour Patch, when you got like the little packet of Skittles, and it makes sense because the Skittles, they're like really small, so you can't just like individually wrap them. That'd take too much time and that'd be pretty pointless. So they did like the little packets of Skittles, and you usually got quite a bit. You got like 7 or 8 Skittles in one little packet, which was pretty cool. But I really do like the Skittles. So Skittles I am also gonna put in A. Don't like them quite as much as Sour Patch Kids, but they're pretty good. Starburst. I really like Starburst. Except for like the orange ones, and honestly it's because I don't really like orange candies, but like the other ones, the lemon, the cherry, and I think the strawberry was the pink one. Or people just call them by colors like red, pink, yellow, orange. But the other ones were fine. The orange one kind of dragged it down a little bit, but I do like the other ones, and I feel like the cherry was my favorite. And then the Starburst. But the thing about Starburst is I sometimes I almost always feel like I got an orange. Sometimes I'll get like double orange with them, and I'm like, oh man, but still really, really good. But when they had the Fave Reds Starburst, and then they had Halloween candy versions of those, was good stuff. I love the Fave Red Starbursts. Those are pretty good. But so yeah, Starburst is going in B. Next up is Airheads. I really like Airheads. As Airheads have always been delicious, and the bite size, it's like a quarter of like the regular size, so like maybe like right there. You can see me trying to like cut it with my cursor there, but um, the Airheads, as they usually gave you a pretty decent size, and the Airheads have good flavors, in my opinion. So I think Airheads is also gonna join Sour Patch Kids as trick or treat. I love Airheads. Next up is Laffy Taffy. I really like Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy was usually pretty cool, and they had the jokes in there, which younger me found funny. Older me is a bit more like, but I recognize that they're for kids, so I can't harp too much on it. But Laffy Taffys I've always really liked, and I think Laffy Taffy. Do I want to put it in Trick or Treats here? No, I think I'm gonna put it in A instead. And the banana ones are still really good. The banana ones get a lot of hate from people. They're good. They're good. Next up is M&M's. Yes, I separated the M&M's from the chocolates here, even though on the image that I found to use to like represent the candies, M&M's are here. But I feel like M&M's I put like kind of in a different category because yes, they are chocolate, of course. But they're more like Skittles to where they're in packet sizes. Meanwhile, like the chocolates, like the Twix and stuff, usually either for like a miniature version or similar to what they did with the Airheads, where it feels like it's like a quarter of the actual full size candy. So M&M's is a little bit different, so that's why I divvied it up. Plus, sometimes they had Halloween candies for the peanut M&M's. But the M&M's are pretty good in my opinion. I really like them. They usually end up tasting pretty much the same after a while, but they're still really good. So I think M&M's I'm probably gonna put in B. Yep, M&M's are going in B. I do really like M&M's. Next up is the Jawbusters. These are usually pretty good and kind of hard to chew because they're Jawbusters, or essentially like jawbreakers. But they're pretty hard. You suck on them for a while, and then eventually they just like sort of like disintegrate in your mouth after a while. So, for these, I think the orange ones, like I mentioned, I don't really like orange candy. The orange ones were kind of weak, but I feel like even the purple ones were kind of weak, at least with Jawbusters. But nevertheless, I think Jawbusters I am going to put in, I think B. Yeah, I think I'll put the Jawbusters in B. Still really good in my opinion. Next up, Chico Sticks. I have always hated Chico Sticks. They're really not good. They taste so weird. I don't even know what the taste is supposed to be, but I've never liked Chico Sticks. This one can stay in the store. I'm not going to save you like I did for candy corn. I'm not going to vouch for you like I did for candy corn, because even as a kid I hated Chico Sticks. They're not good in my opinion. But that is our first stay in the store. Next up is Dots. I feel like Dots is kind of like the Aquaman of Halloween candies, where a lot of people seem to hate it for virtually no reason. But I like Dots. I really like Dots. One of my coworkers, he like hates Dots with like a burning passion, but I like Dots. I feel like Dots gets a lot of unnecessary hate. They do taste a little weird, but Dots are still really good in my opinion. And remember, like I said, these are my opinions, so if you disagree, that is totally fine. But I like Dots. They get too much hate. So Dots, I'm going to put in B. I actually like Dots. If that makes me a weirdo, or like a weird person, I'll take it. I will be the weirdo. I've been the weirdo almost my entire life. I also didn't put the Krabby Patties. the gummy Krabby Patties. That's definitely a trick or treat tier for sure. But it's already too late. We already started the list. Tootsie Rolls. Love Tootsie Rolls. The chocolate ones I think are really really good. They have other Tootsie Rolls which we'll get to, but I feel like the chocolate ones are pretty good. They're usually pretty bite sized, and sometimes they switched it up. Sometimes they had the circular ones like here. Other times they had more like the block ones. And I feel like I kind of like I feel like I kind of like these ones a little more. Or they taste the same, but I feel like the circular ones were a little easier for me to chew, and for some reason I prefer them a little more. So so Tootsie Rolls I am putting just regular Tootsie Rolls. I am putting in B here. However, the fruity Tootsie Rolls. The fruity Tootsie Rolls, man, that's some good stuff. The lemon ones, the lime ones, the cherries, the orange, which even the orange tasted pretty good. They had the vanilla ones. I think they even had a banana one at one point, but still, really good stuff. I love the fruity Tootsie Rolls. Those are definitely. Do I want to put them in? You know what? I'm going to put these in Trick or Treat. Fruity Tootsie Rolls are going in Trick or Treat because they are really, really good in my opinion. Tootsie Roll Pops, also really good stuff. Didn't like it as much as the fruity ones, but I think I liked them a little more than the circular ones. No disrespect to these are still really good, but I just like these more. How many looks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. But for the Tootsie Roll Pops, I'm gonna put those in A. So A tier for sure. Ooh, I'll put Tootsie Rolls, but Tootsie Roll Pops are gonna be in A. I really really like them. Next up, Double Bubble. Oh, Double Bubble, the gum that lasts you a total of 30 seconds before it loses its flavor. Sorry, but man, I feel like 30 seconds, the gum, you're like enjoying it, the bubblegum flavor, and then it's gone. What a shame. Always a shame. So C tier for the Double Bubbles. Next up is Blow Pops. Out of all three of these, the Blow Pops, the Tootsie Roll Pops, and the Dum Dums here, I've always felt like the Blow Pops are the absolute best out of the three. Top tier for sure. I love Blow Pops. They're nice and big. They got the gum center, which I always just ended up like eating normally. Probably would explain about this, but yeah, I feel like the Blow Pops have always been my favorite, and they got nice fruity flavors as well, and I actually like all of them. So with that, the Blow Pops are definitely Trick or Treat tier for me. I always loved getting Blow Pops in my Halloween bag, like as a wee lad. Next up is Smarties. Smarties are an interesting case. I like them. They're sweet and everything, but they're really small, and they'll disintegrate into dust. I remember, the kids, the little bad kids in my school figured out how to smoke them and make it look like they were smoking Smarties. But the Smarties were pretty good. So I think these ones I will put maybe as I think I'll put. Don't want to put them in B or A. No, I'll put them in B. Smarties were good, but I don't know if it's enough for A. Next up is Swedish Fish. Swedish Fish is really really good, and I usually remember like two different types. They usually either had the little package like the little mini fish, or they had one package, but it was one of the big Swedish Fish. So both were really good. I do really like Swedish Fish. So I think for these, and I know it's like the box and everything, a lot of these are like the full size candies rather than the little Halloween versions, but that's because I wanted to show like the actual candy itself. I wasn't too worried about whether or not it was bite size. But just imagine like this, the singular fish, but in the package for the big ones, and then little mini Swedish fish for the smaller ones. But the Swedish fish, I think I'm gonna put in A tier. I really like Swedish fish. They're really good in my opinion. And last, but certainly not least, Twizzlers. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. I love Twizzlers. Probably because I used to eat them quite a bit because my dad likes Twizzlers, and so he would often buy them, and I would snack on them with him. But I love Twizzlers. What can I say? Twizzlers are good. Stop denying the Twizzlers for yourself. Twizzlers are delicious. It's because of that I used to love getting Twizzlers in my Halloween candy. They usually had like the little miniature ones, and they either had like the strawberry ones, which is like the normal one where they're all skinny and everything, and just like it's like smaller versions of those, or they had the cherry ones, what's the cherry ones I like a lot more, and they're pull and peel and everything, and they had the mini versions of those. But or I even saw like once or twice in my Halloween candy they had the rainbow ones, which were multicolored. But I don't care. I love Twizzlers. I don't care what anybody says. Twizzlers is going in A tier. Here, a lot of people hate Twizzlers for some reason, but I love them. I will say it loud and I will say it proud. I love Twizzlers. That's gonna be the hashtag for this video. Hashtag I love Twizzlers. But so there you have it. For our tiers. First, for the Halloween candies, he's in Trick or Treats here, aka like top tier, S tier. We have Sour Patch Kids, Airheads, Fruity Tootsie Rolls, and Blow Pops. In A tier, we have Dum Dums, Skittles, Laffy Taffies, Tootsie Roll Pops, Swedish Fish, and Twizzlers. In B tier, we have Chocolates, Warheads, Lemonheads, Nerds, Starbursts, M&M's, Jawbusters, Tootsie Rolls, and Smarties. In C tier, we have Candy Corn and Double Bubbles. And Stay in the Store, aka Stay on the Shelf of the only thing on that lonely Halloween candy shelf, which is where it deserves to be, is Chick-O-Sticks. But nevertheless, that is going to be the tier list. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below your favorite and least favorite Halloween candies, and if you agree with my listing here. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on bell notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see it as soon as it drops, and I will see you guys later. Peace.